Chris Vance. You'll never want to leave your house again.
The Garden of Horror, where we do movie reviews and other things. Today is actually a special event where I'm currently gonna do the top 10 Netflix movies of August, my personal favorites. Now this doesn't include older films such as like Halloween or Madhouse. This is more recent films that deserve more love. This top 10 is no specific order, but number 10 that everyone should watch is Housebound. Housebound is where we find a woman who's been in trouble with the law. Essentially, she's forced to be homebound with her mother at her child's home. She's under house arrest. Here we have at her mother's house is a supernatural force. Maybe a ghost with a sheet is upon the living, and that's where the comedy comes in. This movie has both horror elements and comedy, black humor, I would say. It definitely deserves to be watched. Number 9 is an anthology film known as VHS 2. It is a found footage film, one of my favorites. The found footage isn't forced, which works in its advantage. This movie includes 4 films in one. The overall story is these 2 detectives. They have a goal of finding a missing student. So essentially they break into the student's house and they end up finding a bunch of VHSs. The kid was obsessed with them, of collecting real rarities. VHSs that were made in the 80s are different from the ones that were made in the 90s. The one detective ends up watching them, and that's where we get our anthology from. Number 8 is Maniac, the remake, which is a treasure just like the original one. It pays respects. Here we have Elijah Wood stalking women throughout the evening for his pleasure. What he does with his victims is he takes the scalp of their heads and puts them on mannequins. He is obsessed with this. In the remake, he restores mannequins as a business, a family business, as you would say. Eventually, he becomes obsessed with this foreign photographer and he becomes sloppy. The remake of Maniac has its gore, creepiness, it pays homage to the original. Number 7, we have The Town That Dreaded Sundown. 65 years after the massacre occurred in Texarkana. This is a sequel from the 1976 town that has Dreaded Sundown, the same title. This film is mostly nostalgia to the original one because it was such a hit back in the day. It's also a homage to a classic slasher film. You're not going to get that much out of it, but if you love slashers, this film is what you're looking for. For number 6, we have Dead Snow, the first Dead Snow. It's a group of students take a ski trip to Norway where they eventually end up finding a secret of what lays beneath them. And what lays beneath them is the new trend, Nazi zombies. Now, this film doesn't force itself of being a comedy like the sequel. It's very, very dark. Gore is taken on more of a serious tone, which is why I preferred this one over the sequel. Number 5 is House of the Devil. This is a film by Ty West. Naturally, all of his films are slow burners, just like this one, but it always pays off in the end. This film includes a student who's desperately in need of money. She ends up taking a babysitter job at this Victorian old mansion. She eventually finds out she's not taking care of a baby. Number 4 is Extraterrestrial, which takes on the classic tale of alien abduction. This film is by the Vicious Brothers, which are the same people who did Grave Encounters. This movie includes a group of college students who end up hiking to one of their friends' family's cabin. Fireball is shot through the sky. Naturally they're interested in this, so they try to find where it landed, and they eventually end up finding alien technology. and the movie takes from there. Number 3 is a film called Late Phases. This movie includes a blind war veteran is moving to a retirement home with the help of his son. They don't have the best relationship. The community holds a secret that involves werewolves. These werewolves are not the ones that shape into a wolf. They're not the ones that look like a man wolf. They're more of the Werewolf in London type. This film is actually a great mystery and horror, and it's all practical effects, which I really like when that happens. And Nick Dominici, who plays the war veteran, does a fantastic job. I really like his character. You may not like him at first because he seems like an asshole or an old miserable man, but within like 10-15 minutes of the film you understand who he is, and he draws you in. He's very likable. I love when that happens in a movie. Number 2, we have Mutants from 2009. It's the French film, not the American one where these aliens are obsessed with sugar. No. This is a zombie film. Using the word zombies is stretch. This is kind of like 28 Days Later type zombies, where they're not zombies. It's more of a virus that spread that caused humanity to act in such a rampage, and they just want to kill people for some reason. This movie is very atmospheric. Cinematography is amazing. You have this couple who ends up in this apocalyptic world. The husband gets infected and the wife just survives. It's really good. I definitely recommend this one if you're looking for a good zombie / virus film. And then number 1, like I said before, these are no in particular order. We have A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. This film is an art house film. It's taking place in Iran, in this lonely city with this lonely vampire. It's visually it's beautiful. It works on its heavy gray tones. The cinematography is amazing. Black cinema, I would say. Shia Vaughn's role, she's the vampire in this movie. She will leave you remembering this movie. And there you go. There's my personal 10 favorites on Netflix in August of 2015. Check them all out. You will not be disappointed. Thank you again. Checking out Garden of Horror. More updates will be soon.